Day 27, Dare 27. Love encourages. Guard my soul and deliver me. Do not let me be ashamed, for I take refuge in you. Psalm 25:20. Marriage has a way of altering our vision. We go in expecting our mate to fulfill our hopes and to make us happy. But this is an impossible order for our spouse to fulfill. Unrealistic expectations breed disappointment. The higher your expectations, the more likely your spouse will fail you and cause you frustration. If a wife expects her husband to always be on time, to clean up after himself, and to understand all her needs, she will most likely live most of her married life in constant disappointment. But if she gets realistic and understands that he's human and forgetful and sometimes even thoughtless, she'll be more delighted when he is responsible, loving, and kind. Divorce is nearly inevitable when people refuse to allow their spouse to be human. There needs to be a transition in your thinking. You must choose to live by encouragement rather than expectations. How can you say to your brother, "Let me take the speck out of your eye"? And behold, there's a log in your own eye. First, take the log out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Matthew 7:4-5. Does your spouse feel like they're living with a speck inspector? Are they routinely on edge, fearful of not living up to your expectations? Would they say they spend more of their days sensing your disapproval rather than your acceptance? Perhaps you'd say that's their problem and not yours. If they really do come up short, why is that your fault? As far as you're concerned, it takes both of you to do everything you can to make a marriage work, right? If your mate doesn't want you to be so critical, then they need to realize that the issues you bring up are legitimate. You're not saying you're perfect by any means, but it does seem like you should be able to say what you think, right? The problem with this kind of attitude is that few people are able to respond to criticism with total objectivity. When it seems clear that someone is unhappy with you, whether by direct confrontation or by silent treatment, it's hard not to take their displeasure personally, especially in marriage. After all, your relationship with your spouse began with both of you bending over backwards to please the other. When your mate was your boyfriend or your girlfriend, they were completely charmed by your personality. You could almost do no wrong. Your life together was so much simpler. And though you didn't expect it to stay that way forever, you certainly didn't see them being so sinful and getting so angry with you. You never expected that this man or this woman who promised to love you could get to where they didn't even seem to like you. So when this stark contrast becomes a living reality, your natural reaction is to resist it. Rather than making you want to correct things, it makes you want to dig deeper. Love is too smart for that. Instead of putting your mate in a position to rebel, love teaches you to give them room to be themselves. Even if you're the goal-oriented type who places high demands on yourself, love calls you not to project your hard-driving ways onto your mate's performance. You must realize that marriage is a relationship to be enjoyed and favored along the way. It's a unique friendship designed by God Himself, where two people live together in flawed imperfections, but deal with it by encouraging one another, not by discouraging one another. The Bible says, "Encourage the exhausted and strengthen the feeble. Encourage one another and build up one another. Encourage the faint-hearted. Help the weak. Be patient with everyone. Don't you want married life to be a place where you can enjoy your expression of who you are? Growing within a safe environment that encourages you, even when you fail? Your spouse does too. And love gives them that privilege. If your wife or husband has told you on more than one occasion that you make them feel beat down or defeated, you need to take these words to heart. Make a commitment to daily let go of unrealistic expectations and become your spouse's greatest encourager. Today's dare. Eliminate the poison of unrealistic expectations in your home. Think of one area where your spouse has told you you are expecting too much, and tell them you're sorry for being so hard on them about it. Promise them that you'll seek to understand and assure them of your unconditional love. I dare you. Now get to work.